human skin. Michael Clark, the defense attorney, looked like a man who had just watched a skyscraper collapse in slow motion. His hands were pressed against his forehead, his once practiced confidence replaced with a hollow despair. He knew the jury's minds were already made up. His case had been gutted, not by the prosecutor, but by the very woman he had counted on as a shield. Legal analysts often say juries are swayed by emotion as much as fact, and in this case, Elizabeth's testimony was both. She didn't just tell them about Ethan's cruelty. She gave them a map, a step-by-step guide to how he had been created, nurtured, and unleashed on the world. It was the missing key. Suddenly, the evidence that had seemed confusing, his lack of remorse, his smug attitude, his casual cruelty, fit perfectly into place. Ethan wasn't a lost child crying for help. He was the product of years of indulgence and denial. Some jurors later admitted that in that moment, their decision was sealed. Not because they hated Ethan, but because his mother's words gave them the clarity they needed to see him for exactly what he was: dangerous, remorseless, and unrepentant. By the time the trial resumed the next morning, the atmosphere in the courtroom was radically different. The defense's energy had evaporated. It was as if they were simply going through the motions, marking time until the inevitable end. Michael Clark tried to recover, but his closing arguments were paper-thin. He stood before the jury with a weary expression, his voice lacking the vigor that had once defined his case. He spoke of Ethan's youth, of the potential for rehabilitation, of the tragedy of a wasted life. But even as he spoke, his words sounded hollow, like a man begging an audience he knew was already gone. The jury's eyes didn't shine with uncertainty anymore. They looked at him with quiet patience, as if waiting for him to finish so they could do what had to be done. Olivia Rodriguez, by contrast, delivered a closing argument that was short, sharp, and devastating. She didn't need theatrics anymore. She didn't need to paint elaborate pictures. The jury had seen the truth with their own eyes. Her words cut like a blade. His own mother showed you the monster. She begged you not to excuse him. Now it is your duty to protect this community, to honor David Campbell's memory, and to hold Ethan Walker accountable. It was not just prosecution, it was a call for justice. Deliberations often take days. Jurors comb through evidence, debate interpretations, struggle to reconcile doubt. But not this time. The jury returned in less than an hour. That speed alone spoke volumes. It wasn't even close. There were no debates, no lingering uncertainties. Elizabeth's testimony, paired with Ethan's violent eruption, had obliterated any possibility of leniency.